install a fresh copy of WordPress. So we're all going to click this button right here that says install. With this, you are going to install, and it gives you a really nice option of like which version to install, but we're not going to change the version that we've got. Your website name is HTTPS, and then it should be your username here, webcsit.net. And then you can put in a directory. You don't have to, but you can put it in a directory, and you can pick which version of WordPress you want it to be. We want it to be 6.6.2. Okay, so we want it 6.6.2. And we could do a quick install, which we're not going to do because I want to just kind of go through this a little bit with you guys. And I do want you guys to set this up to be your username, because I know you'll remember your username because that's what you signed on to cPanel with. Okay, so make this your username. Okay, and so this is going to be mine. Okay, so that's going to be my username. Don't leave it at admin because, like I said, this is going to be on the internet, so I don't want anybody to hack it over the 5 weeks that we're here. Like I said, 43% of all the internet is trying to get um, into your information. So the password should also be the password that you had to get onto cPanel. So this will keep it really easy. The username and password will be the same username that you have to get onto cPanel. And so it will also be the same username and password to get into WordPress. Does that make sense? Use your username, not my username. Do not use mine. Do not use Web172. Use your username. Okay, thumbs up if everybody understands that. Okay, because that is really important, to use your username, not my username. Okay, and then the password should be your password that you have to get onto cPanel. So whatever your password is for cPanel. So I actually have to look mine up. So I'm going to come here. This. Okay, that's not what I want. So you guys can see LastPass here in front. I'm going to show you guys my password real quick. It's such a great password, isn't it? Okay.
I'll have
Okay.
no trouble remembering that.
I know you guys are so good. You're just going to like pick that up and just take that. Okay. The admin, I don't really care that you change the admin, but I am going to change mine to something that makes sense. So if you want to make it to your StuMail account, that's probably the best way to do it. So I'm going to do mwhite 32 at jcc.edu. So this will actually go to mine. So first of all, your username is your username. Your password is going to be your password. And then the email, you do need to set up an email here. And it probably should be something that we can email out to. This is going to make it a lot easier using WordPress because a lot of times, like people, when we did it with the actual student servers, it was kind of a pain because we weren't able to capture um, the actual emails. It wouldn't let us email out to the internet, which this makes it a lot easier. Okay, the next thing is for this class, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the last class. I'm going to just do 2024 and I'm going to do puppies again. You guys are going to get sick of puppies, but that's my my go-to. But you can name it anything you want. So this website could be the one that you want to work on for your final, or this could just be one you want to work on in class. That is your choice, whether you want to create one for when we're working in class and you want to work on one for the final. So you can have two websites on this C panel. You don't just have to have one, which is kind of nice. Okay. So you can create another one um, tonight after we're done with this class that actually starts you working on your final website. Okay. So the final class will be the final website. Okay. So then the description is the tagline and okay, love them all. Okay, so that's my tagline. So I can change all of this, but this is just kind of the initial setup. It'll let me do that. It lets me pick a language that I want to use. English, please stay with English because if you guys pick another language, I'm not going to be able to help you with that. It lets me pick up other plugins that are available. I don't want you to select any of these plugins right now. Plugins are extra code on top of the original WordPress, and I don't want you to do that. I do want us to open up the advanced options, and I do want you to see that it does create a database name and a table prefix for you, which is really kind of nice that you can use change that to something if you want it to be more user friendly. You could actually change those, but at this point we don't need to. We're really not going to do a whole lot of backups, so at that point it's no big deal. And then select and manage a theme. I want us all to be on 2024. So that's going to be the default WordPress theme. So if yours looks like your theme is going to be something other than 2024, I want you to let me know and we'll make sure we get you switched over as soon as we get this updated. Okay. So I'm going to go back and see if there's anything else I want to do. So we're going to go ahead, make sure we're 2024. Is everybody with me right now? And you should be at the very bottom at this install button.
Oop, I went too far. I hit on 2024.
That's fine. And what did it do?
It
Just,
went to 2024 demo.
okay. So you should be able to, so if you click on it, you should just be able to X out of that and come back here to this screen. The X is in the top right-hand corner
Oh,
below the bar for your
oh,
URLs and everything else here.
okay. I'm back.
Okay. So then we're going to hit this install. Is anybody not with me or needs a little extra time?
But we're not actually choosing any advanced options at this point.
At this point, no, we're not.
Okay, okay.
Oh, well, let's do, if you haven't already done it, if you haven't, auto upgrade WordPress plugins and the WordPress themes, that just kind of updates them for you. I think that's probably good. Auto upgrade. I thought it used to say update, but upgrade. Yeah, let's do that. So we won't disable notifications or anything, but we'll just kind of upgrade all that. Sorry about that. I did want to do that. If
And we
anybody
don't,
else did it, we can fix it later. Guys, don't worry. If you guys went ahead and did the install, we can actually fix it later. So go ahead with the install. And so this is, like I said, supposed to be the 5-minute install. Honestly, if you were doing this, it's probably, if it takes a minute, minute and a half, I would be like really surprised. Um, so this, yes.
so that 2024 was the default theme.
Yeah, and that's perfect. That's what
Okay.
I want us to be on. I want us to be on the default theme. Okay, so now with your command or control, and I think, John, you said it was shift control or command. You can go to the front of the website by hitting the control and just seeing what your front and opening up another tab. So this opens up another tab and shows you your website that you just created. And this is on the internet. This is your URL. And that's the folder that mine went into. Okay. If you want to see the back of the website, so you go to the tab to the right of the one you just opened, this should take you to the dashboard of the website. So if you click on the admin, it should take you to the dashboard and already sign you on so you can actually see the dashboard, which is really pretty cool because you don't really have to remember your sign on, but your username should be sitting over there. And if you need to go back and check your password, it should have also sent you an email to your student email that you just created a website. At this point, if you have three tabs open, you have your dashboard, you have your front of your website, and you have the soft Acculicious, you actually can close your cPanel. That's all we need at cPanel for at this time. So we can actually close, no, don't close it. Leave it open. I wanted I wanted to show you guys how to open a website, create a website, and delete a website. Okay, because at some point you guys might want to delete a website off of a server, and knowing how to do that is also a good thing to have kind of in your back pocket or your skills. Okay, so with cPanel, everybody's still in cPanel. I didn't get anybody to close it too quick, did I? My brain and my mouth sometimes don't match up. I'm so sorry.
Back on the
Just
dashboard then.
okay, so we're back at Soft Acculicious. You should see that you have one installation. If you're in cPanel, so I want you to be back at cPanel. If you're at cPanel, you can actually go to the file manager now and look at the public files, and then look at the folder that you put your WordPress website in. And this is all the core WordPress files that got uploaded to this hosting environment. Isn't that pretty cool? These are all the core files that got loaded into this folder, okay, under public. So under public HTML, you should have a folder. It might be WP, it might be something else. Whatever it is, you will have a folder there. Now, you don't have to have it be WP. It could be anything if you're naming your website something else. Okay, back to just the cPanel. We're going to go to WordPress, the manager again, the WordPress manager with Soft Acculicious, and we should be able to see that you have a website here in this folder, the name of the website to log in if you want to. You have all of those to do. If you look at it, it'll give you the configuration of the website. It'll give you a little screenshot of it. And then you have this little remove this installation from the Soft Acculicious. So you can remove it here. You can also go into where we saw the WordPress before when we were looking at just the cPanel, and you can delete it that way. So I'm going to remove it here, and I'm going to remove the directory, remove the database, remove the users. I'm going to remove this whole installation. So this gives you the availability to add a website and completely remove it or delete the website. Okay, so here it's saying, okay, you're deleting it. Okay, return to the WordPress manager, and now you will see that that website is completely gone. If we go to the cPanel and look at the files, go to the public HTML, you will see that that whole folder is gone. So we don't even have any of the files or the database out there at all. It's all gone. Okay. So that's good. That's what we want it to do. And so that may be something as you're working on something and you're saying, okay, I like it or I don't like it, you may decide to get rid of it. Okay. So that is very good in that you can go and create one and you can delete it. Again, I'm going to have to go back and find my. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the install again, the same thing. If you guys put in the wrong username and password, this is a good time to fix it, okay? So again, you can put it into any folder. You can name the folder anything you want. You can remove the folder if you want this to be the only website on this URL. But remember, if you put it in with this, like mine is 172.webcsit.net, and then it'd be slash WP, okay? That is going to be the name of my, or that's going to be my URL. So just be aware that's your URL. Okay. The admin name is going to be your admin name. So I'm going to do web 172 for me. Again, I'm going to do puppies 2024. Oh, and then my password's going to be that crazy password again. Again, put in your email, your student email. Okay, so you should have your username, your password. Are your guys' passwords saying bad? I don't know how my password could be bad. That thing is crazy. Okay.
Mine's incredibly strong. I don't know what happened there.
You just are lucky.
I guess so.
Mine should be because I think mine was made up by the they first started doing it.
Hmm.
So that is crazy. Okay, so that should my I think mine should be incredibly strong, but I'm not going to worry about it. So again, we're going to not do any of the plugins. We're going to make sure we're English again. On the advanced options, this is where we're going to make sure that we do the updates for the theme and updates for the plugins so that we don't have to remember to do those. They will automatically do that for us. Um, the theme selection, just click, make sure you're on 2024. You don't have to click on it, and then just do the install. And so this should take us to the install again. So this should be kind of fun. You guys were able to create a website and blow a website away. Um, I have done this before for clients. So then again, you should be able to, I'm going to close out my other um, tabs here. I have the Soft Acculicious, I have cPanel tools. I don't need both of those, so I'm going to get rid of one of them. So I have 3 tabs open. On the Soft Acculicious, where I have the actual website here, I'm going to click my control key and open up another tab, and then my control key to open up my dashboard. Okay, so you should be able to click through your tabs and see what I'm seeing here. So Soft Acculicious shows you that you just created the website. This is the front of the website that's out there for everybody on the internet to see. And this is the back of the website.
I have a question. How do you get rid of the install? Because apparently I didn't get rid of my first one, and I don't want to get rid of this attempt to install.
Is it trying to install with the same username and password and
Yes,
stuff?
it says
And it's
directly type already exist.
okay. So what you probably need to do is go back to, if can you exit out of that? Will it let you stop that? Can you go
Well,
back to
oh, there's an
key?
X here. Let's see what. Okay, I'm out.
Okay. So if you go to install, if you go back to Soft Aculicious, and you go to installations, do you have one now?
Um,
If you need to go to cPanel, or if you're in cPanel, it's the WordPress Manager, which is
well,
over here on the left. It says WordPress Manager by Soft
I
Aculicious. You
still
click on.
have I have the old one that looks like.
Okay, so if you had that one, you could click on it, okay, and drop this, like this little carrot drops that down, okay, and then at the very bottom was the remove. But since you already still have it there, John, we don't really need you to delete it. I just wanted you guys to know you could delete it,
Okay,
okay? So since you got it there, you could just leave it. I-
all righty.
Is that okay?
That'll
Unless you
be fine.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to delete it. I just wanted you guys to know you could delete it. You could install and you could delete. So if you want to play with that like after class, or you want to talk to me after class about that, we can play with that some more after class. Does
All
that
righty.
sound good?
That'd be great.
Okay. Uh, close this. Okay, so we've created a WordPress website on cPanel. We've deleted it and then we've created it again. So that's what we've done so far. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is from the dashboard that we had. Okay, so you should have a tab for the dashboard. We're going to go to settings real quick, and we're going to make sure that nobody is seeing this website. So I think under reading real quick, we're going to discourage the search engines from indexing this website. At this point, I'll tell you, I never put up a website like this normally. I build it all locally hosted, and then I bring it up via FTP, um, or some other format, to get it up onto the internet. And I will show you guys how I do that. Um, where I'll back this up, I'll bring it down to my desktop, and then I'll make some changes and then put it back up on the internet. So that will be one of our last classes. But so we want to discourage the search engines from indexing this, because when you put a website up and you say you're talking about puppies, okay, I'm talking about puppies, I become they give me just kind of a little shot in the arm for websites about puppies and push me up in the rankings because I am the latest and greatest information out there about puppies. The problem with it is if you put it up like we just did with nothing associated with puppies, what happens when somebody comes and looks at this website thinking that this website's all about puppies? They leave, right? So they're not going to stay. So SEO goes down really fast as soon as you get a whole bunch of bouncing as people find out this website isn't about puppies or whatever you called your website. So go ahead, discourage the search engines,
Mm,
and then just save that. We'll come back and talk about these a little bit later.
Another question here. When I hit settings, I get general settings. How do I
Okay,
get reading settings?
so you click on settings, and
Oh,
it
down below. Okay, gotcha.
down below, reading
Oh,
should be the third one down.
yeah.
It should be
Okay.
general, writing, reading.
And so that's the only one we do. Okay.
That's the only one we're going to do. We're going to talk about
Gotcha.
all of
All right.
these, but just right now, I'm just going to get you guys to do that. Okay.
Okay.
Um, okay. So everybody should have a website up on the internet, and we are discouraging the website from being seen by search engines right now. So Google, Yahoo, Bing, they're all going to not really try to index these pages yet because we're going to say, stop, no, we're not ready. We want to build this website first, and we don't want you to give us that boost yet. Okay, so that's one of the things. Once they index, they try to give you that boost just because you're supposed to be like the latest and greatest. Okay, so across the top, you can say when you're looking at the front of the website, you guys will see what's called a status bar across the top. This is only because you're signed in to the website. If you sign out of the website, or if you look at this URL, okay, so the URL up here is the URL of your website. And if you copy that and you go to another browser, so I'm going to try to see if I can find my Firefox. Okay, browsers. Let's find Firefox. There it is. And you put it in another browser. You will see in another browser that status bar is not there. Okay, so I have multiple browsers I tested in and I look at it, and you will see that this website this is what most people will see when they come to your website. Okay. So they don't see that big black status bar. And I've had people say, oh, that's ugly. I don't like that status bar there. Well, most people that aren't signed into the website won't see it. They'll see this. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to close that. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is looking at the front and the back of the website, which we actually are doing, where we have the dashboard is the back end of the website. Again, as we look at the different menu options on the dashboard, it flies out to the right. As you click on them, it flies underneath. So that should feel pretty comfortable from what we did last week. So you have post, you have media, you have pages, and as you click the other options underneath that menu item, if there's sub menu items, go underneath on the left-hand side of the screen. Across the top, this will look a little different than what you saw on WordPress.com because WordPress.com was also trying to sell you stuff all the time because WordPress.com is trying to make money. They're trying to get you to build a free website and then they're trying to get you to purchase a domain and hosting and all of that information. Where here, somebody has purchased the hosting and we are using the hosting. And this is a self-hosted website, opposed to WordPress was hosting our website last week. Okay. We did create posts and pages last week, which we're going to do again this week. One thing that I didn't talk about is as we go to the dashboard, some of the things to be aware of. Again, the menu items are the left, the content is usually in the middle, and like styling information is to the right. One thing that you have the availability to do in some of the content areas is to determine what is going to display and what's not going to display. So right here, this welcome tells me like some different things I can do. I can dismiss that and get just these little um, boards or boxes that give me little bits of information. But I can also go through these and decide, okay, I can close them up with this little triangle to the right. So there's a triangle on the right and close those up. As I put on more plugins on this website, this dashboard or what I'm looking at here will get more cluttered. So I will have the option to decide what I want to see, what I don't want to see, how much I want to see, how much I don't want to see. And so I have the availability to turn any of these off or on. I also have the availability to drag and drop them in different locations on this content area. So I have the availability to do that. I will tell you the site health and the at a glance are my two favorite things to look at when I'm working with a new client and I'm trying to find out where they are and how they're doing. Okay, so this at a glance, um, I did have a client that thought they only had 20 pages, and I went to this at a glance and saw like 400 posts and 200 pages. And I said, nope, you guys have a lot more going on here than you think. So once I showed her what I was looking at, she was like, oh, wow, I didn't even realize we had that many pages. This right here shows you what theme. It actually shows you what version of WordPress you're running and what theme you're running. Okay. This at the bottom here tells you that we've discouraged search engines from indexing this website. So all the pages on this website, we've said, hey, wait, we're not ready for you to index it yet. So we're discouraging search engines from indexing it. So these two are kind of my favorite. I like to have them at the top. I like to be able to see what's going on the website. Activity lets you know what's going on the website, what has happened on the website. So this was a brand new website. And so the activity, there is a hello world post and there is a comment that is a hello world. So it put on one page and one post for us. This is news associated with the location that it thinks is near you. So you can actually come in here and if you're looking to see if there's some new um, WordPress events going on or news about WordPress, you can find most of those going on right here. Um, WordCamp USA is going on this week. So a lot of information should be showing up in this week and over this weekend. Quick drafts allow you to like, oh, I have an idea about a post. This allows me to put in a title and just a quick blurb of what you want the content to be and save a draft for a post. Have I ever used that? No, I've never used that because if I'm going to write a post, I just go to the post tab and start writing. But I have the option to determine what I want to see and what I don't want to see by checking things on and off and check marking them back on. So I do kind of like to see the activity and I like to see the news. If I want the welcome screen to come back on, I can actually turn that back on here. But I mean, the welcome screen is one of those things that is more clutter to me than it is something I really need. Okay, so every menu item will have screen options. The screen options will be associated with what is available to see in the content area. Okay, so that makes a big difference. So if I come to post opposed to the dashboard, the screen options are going to be the information that I see across the top of this information here in the content area. Okay, so if I don't want to see categories or tags, I can turn those off and all I see is the author and the date and comments. And then how many I want to see. So the screen options is very dependent on which menu item you're looking at. Those screen options are very dependent on what menu item you're looking at. Based on what menu item you're looking at, so we're on the dashboard again, the help will take you to information associated with that menu item. So when we're on the dashboard, this is help about the dashboard. It just gives you information. It lets you navigate the layout, the content. It just kind of talks about all of this and how you can modify it. You can actually find documentation on the dashboard. If I hit control click on that, this will take me to WordPress.org documentation, an article about the dashboard. And this is the latest and greatest information about the dashboard and just gives you really the best information that's out there. WordPress.org documentation is kind of the Bible of WordPress. WordPress.org is going to have the latest and greatest information. And most of the time, is going to be very accurate. I'm going to say most of the time because it is maintained by volunteers. So there may be something you hit someday that isn't up to date. And that is just because volunteers make WordPress what WordPress is, and they update all of the documentation. So there are people that volunteer, and when they're at these word camps, they have a day of volunteering where people just spend a whole day doing documentation, or they do a whole day of um, going through tickets of questions people have about WordPress or problems people are having with WordPress. So there's a lot that goes into WordPress. And like I said, the volunteers or the community of WordPress makes WordPress what it is. It's great. I sound like I'm selling WordPress, don't I? Um, but I do feel like it has a good community. And I think having a good community when you're working on an application is nice. Having people that will help you and not turn around and say, hey, pay me every single minute. They'll help you just because they were helped. It's a lot of pay it forward because everybody feels that way. Okay. I am going to stop right here. Make sure everybody's with me where everybody has a website on and is available to move forward. If not, I need to help whoever needs help getting their website. Okay. Yes. Yes. And if you have a website, in the module for WordPress, I do talk about you have two assignments this week. One is a planning assignment. So I'd like you to start looking at the planning assignment and pick. So this would be either a Word document or a PDF or whatever you want to put it in the form of, and give me all that information for that assignment. So I will try to pull that assignment up here, the planning assignment. So the planning assignment um, is going to either be in a Word document, a PowerPoint, or a PDF. I don't care what you want, and you will submit it as a zip file in Canvas. The first thing you'll do is tell me what you want your final website to be about. It can be a personal website, it can be about your hobbies, it's going to be a business website. You are going to present it the last day in class. So, that being said, I would like you to make it something that you feel comfortable presenting it. You're going to have 5 pages. So I'd like you to tell me what 5 pages you're going to create. You're going to have 4 pages plus one that's going to be a page for your blogs or your posts that you're going to create. So actually, you're doing 4 pages, and then you're going to either have a news page, a blog page, or a post page. So I've already given you one of the pages. Okay. So you have to give me 4 more page names. So actually give me 5 page names and just name whatever your blog is and tell me um, on your website um, if you're going to draw out like the layout of it. So kind of basically what you think it should look like. And I would like you to show me what it's going to look like for the home page on desktop and for the phone. I only need 2 drawings. I don't need it for every single page. I only want one for the home page, and I want it to be for the desktop, what it's going to look like, and what it's going to look like on the phone. So I would like it to feel um, pretty pretty close to what you want to build. If you want to do it on pen and paper, please use a ruler. Please don't do it freehand. Um, and I'd like you to tell me like which one is desktop and which one is the phone. You will have a hamburger menu or some kind of menu. All of WordPress themes right now will give you the hamburger menu or the 3 dots that we saw earlier. If you want to find a logo, there are logo applications like Fiverr. If you want to create one with Adobe Illustrator, you're more than welcome to do that. Colors, if you'll pick out your color scheme with Peloton and pick out a minimum of Well, a maximum of 5, a minimum of 3 colors, at least 1 or 2 fonts, and tell me where you're going to use them. And then if you're going to use backgrounds, give me those backgrounds. So you can actually just kind of write this up in a document. If you could, on the colors, just give me the hexadecimal and a swatch. Okay, so if you guys don't know how to get a swatch for a color, so if I was going to do this. I know Apple allows you to drag over something and grab a swatch. With um, PC, we have this snipping tool, and we can actually just use the snipping tool and grab a swatch. And then if you just grab that swatch, edit it, and paste it into a Word document with whatever the hexadecimal is, that's what I want for the 3 or 5 colors that you guys pick. Okay. Anybody does not have a WordPress website that needs help to get this up?
Question on the swatch.
Okay.
So the swatch is just a color block of that specific color, not that whole block with the blocks inside it, right?
Correct. The
Okay.
swatch would just now see if I like roll over this color and I want AA3939,
Mm-hmm.
that's the swatch of that color. If I
Okay.
want this color, like the 801515, that's the swatch I want.
Okay. So
Okay.
it's just that color block of that one color.
Right. You can also take those numbers. Um, let's see if I can remember that. A98080. Um, that will be the hexadecimal color. A lot of times you can just type them into a browser and you can grab
Mm.
the swatches here too. You
Mm.
don't have to use Peloton to find the swatches, but you could find the swatches here. And honestly, you could grab this and it has all of the information in it.
Okay.
And so that would be what I'd like also. So just when you're giving me that in that first assignment and you're telling me what you want to do. Did I already close that assignment? There it is. So on that assignment, you're going to give me a brief description, 1 or 2 word. I mean, tell me like the title. What's the website going to be about? Then 1 or 2 sentences. I don't need a book on what the website's going to be about. 1 or 2 sentences is fine. Tell me your pages. Give me 4 pages and then a blog page name. Okay, so 4 page names is the sitemap. Pretty easy, pretty simple stuff I'm asking for. Tentative layout, if you're going to draw it out and you're going to put it in a picture, give me the image, or if you're going to use Exure, there is the availability to give me the files in Exure. And if you're going to do that, please zip them up so that I can get to them. Um, if you're going to draw with pen and paper, please use a ruler. I don't really want any free hands. Logos, you can create logos with Ex- Express. It's free. Adobe Express is free. And you could create your logo here in Adobe Express if you want to create a logo. And if you have a student sign on, you can go ahead and sign on, but you can continue as a guest and you can, it's going to ask for an email, but I already have an account. So continue, continue. And if you guys are doing any of the Adobe classes, you guys will have this too. But this, you can just, it just takes your email and it'll send you things trying to get you to buy things. But there is the branding one here that allows you to create some logos. And it's a good way or an easy way to add logos to things. So you can actually look for logos. So I'm going to say that I'm looking for puppies and search and see if this. Oh, it's not doing what I thought it was going to do. Okay, well, it's one of those things you'd have to play with and see, but you should be able to look. Oh, there, logos. It usually shows me a whole bunch of logos. Ugh, just gonna look at my stuff. Forget it. But you could create something pretty quick here, if you want. If you just want text or something, you could create your own little logo, and then you can download it. It just lets you download a ping, and a lot of times we'll be talking about what size ping you need. So this is just something fun you can play with. You can use Express to do that. Fonts, look at Google Fonts. Most WordPress themes will be using Google Fonts. So, if you look at Google Fonts, you're going to be pretty safe. And you can always download Google Fonts, and we'll talk about how to add those to the website if we need to via the CSS. Um, Backgrounds, again, that is just something you guys can look at. I do, there's one background. I'll have to look it up, but there is a background. I'll put that in my notes. Um, there is a background free thing. You just have to give it credit in the bottom of your website if you're using the backgrounds. Um, I think mm, I'll remember it. I can't remember it right this minute, but I will. Okay, so that's something that you guys, if you want to take about just to work on this today, take about 10 minutes right now to start this and create your document. If anybody needs help creating their WordPress website, let me know because this is the time I can work with you to do that. And then after that 10 minutes, so that will be 7:15. After that 10 minutes, we'll take our 10-minute break. So that will be 7:25 before I start up again. So everybody needs to have a WordPress website by 7:25. Thumbs up if everybody understands that. Perfect. Ask me questions if you guys got questions too.
Are we talking about the one we were just doing, or are we talking about an additional one?
This is an additional one, or it can be the one we're working with. So this is your choice. You can work with me on the website we're going to be working with like tonight, tomorrow, and the next night, or you can create another website and you can determine what it's all going to be. Um, I'm assuming tonight you've already named this website and it's not the same as you want your final to be. So I'm assuming you're going to create another website.
Okay. All right.
Okay. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I would do. But you guys can work this any way you want and you can go back and change the title and all of this on the website if you decide you want to like work with what we're doing here in class. Okay.
Gotcha.
But you'll be presenting the one you're doing the final information about in class the last night of class. Okay, so if you want to look at the assignment, I think I closed it. Did I close that assignment? Here it is. So this assignment, if you want to go ahead and look at you have two assignments for the second assignment. The assignment, which is the planning assignment, okay? And you need to um, have this written up either in a Word document, a PowerPoint, or a PDF and submit it. And if you have multiple documents, you have to submit them in a zip folder, okay, on Canvas for me. And these are the things I'm going to need. Is that what you wanted me to repeat? And you can work on that now for till 7:15. Okay. And then at 7:15, we're going to break. So I give you a 10-minute break to get up and get away from all of this. And at 7:15, you'll take a 10-minute break and come back at 7:25 because I'll take a break too.
Alrighty.
And then at 7:25, I'll start class again. Is that what you wanted, James? Thumbs up. Okay, perfect. I'm recording. Okay, so what we're going to do is click on your title here, and we're going to come over to the right here. So you have post and block. So you can click between those and just kind of look and see how they change. With the post, it allows you to set a feature image. Okay. It allows you to modify the puppies at 2 weeks. You can actually see the link right here now is puppies at 2 weeks. And John, I think that's where you're saying, could you change the names here? This is
Oh,
where this would be the permalink. And if you change the name over here to puppies at 6 weeks, you'd probably have to come over here and put the 6 in over here because it
no.
wouldn't
Okay.
automatically change it for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's just something to be aware. Feature images, we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to images. Adding an excerpt, if you wanted to have an excerpt that shows in the browsers, like when somebody's looking at this, like something that's different than the first paragraph, you have the availability to put in the excerpt. It says how many words I have, how long it's going to take to read, and it was last edited 7 minutes ago. So this gives me a little bit of information. Right now, it's saved as a draft. Okay. The next thing we have is published immediately. So if we publish it, it would be published immediately. This is our link. Opposed, it would be the um, slash WP puppies at 2 weeks. The author, this grabs the author. Right now, everybody should be your username as the author, and the template is a single post. Okay, so we do have the option to work with templates. It allows us to let people comment on this post or not comment on this post. We do have the availability to make this post stick to the top. So if this was a seasonal post, and let's say we're talking about Halloween, we want this to stick to the top. And every time everybody comes into our post, it's the first one people see. So we could have this one be a sticky post and it sticks to the top of all the posts. Even though it's not the newest post, it is the one that has the content that's about Halloween, and we really want people to see it. Categories. So categories, uncategories. I know none of you have ever searched for uncategorized. None of you. And if you have to let me know why. So uncategorized is the category that comes with a WordPress install. So I'm going to set up some new categories. So puppies is one of mine. So that will be one of my categories. I'm going to add puppies, and then I will add, so this is about feeding puppies. So I'll do feeding. So that's another category. Or food, I could have put in food instead of feeding. So those are two categories. And categories are kind of like if you think about a funnel, and categories are like the really broadest term that somebody might search for. And then when you come down to the next option down here, the tags would be the more specific. So 6 week old. So tags would be maybe before 6 weeks, before 6 weeks, maybe how often to feed. Those would be tags, things people would search for. These are kind of those SEO things that would help people find this post and would help drive them to look at this content. Okay, so tags are really getting down to the nitty gritty about what the post is about. And the categories are just like a broad, over encompassing topic. Okay, so I just kind of think categories are the topic and tags are like just getting into the information. Okay, so we do want to set up tags. We want to make sure we aren't using just uncategorized, and we do want to set those up. So let's go ahead and save or publish this one. So let's just go ahead and publish this one. And if you view the post, it's not going to look very exciting. It's going to have that it was created by who wrote it, and then the categories. So everybody should have at least one post created. Okay, after you get that one post, give me a thumbs up and go back to post.
Well, I have the post, but I have all sorts of about privacy and social, and I'm not for sure
That's
where that.
okay. You're on pages. Are
Okay.
you on pages? So you're looking at pages where you have the privacy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You're on
Okay.
pages. Go to post. Post is above, like right under dashboard is posts. That's where I need you to make
Okay.
your
Okay.
first one.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, we're going to create two more posts. Okay, so you're going to add in another post, and then I'm just going to do fostering puppies, and I'm just going to put in a heading. Okay, so you can copy and paste this if you typed in something. Get yourself like a nice post going there. Um, then go back to the top again. And this one, I'm going to just save as a draft. I'm not going to publish it. I'm just going to save it as a draft. And I'm going to go ahead and do puppies and uncheck categorized. And I think I'm going to put in another category of fostering or fostering. And then first foster. Okay, and then just save that as a draft. Once you make your changes over here, just save it as a draft. Go ahead, don't publish it. Don't publish the second one you make. Do not publish the second one you make. This is another post. It is not the same post. This is a different post. This will be the second post you've created on this website. And you're not going to save it. The first one you published, the second one you will not. Okay. Everybody give me a thumbs up when you have another one. Create it. What you'll do is you will also go to the W and go to the dashboard so that we can see the back end. And you should see now that you have two published and one draft. Two published and one draft. So this is just showing you that this is a draft. And this would be like if you were writing it up and maybe you were going to have somebody else edit it, or maybe somebody else put like images and stuff in it. All of the stuff that you maybe don't want to finish up, but you want somebody else to do. So this is a good way to create a post and not have anybody else see it yet. Okay, this is before people would see it. Again, you can roll over these just like you could roll over the page that I show you, and you could actually do like a quick edit. So I didn't get any of the tags in there before. So here I might want to put in um, first Foster and actually get in a tag there if I want. So rolling over, I can preview it if I want to see what it looks like on the front end. That's what it's going to look like on the front end. And then go back to the dashboard and post. So you should have two published, one draft. The hello world, okay, that was just to show us how to create a post. So we're going to trash that one. Okay, so now you should have one published, one draft, and one trash. You only need one category. I don't care how many categories you guys have. It's just depending on what you think your post needs. I'm just showing you that you can have more than a single category on a post or on a page. Okay. You don't have to have lots and lots of categories like I did and lots of tags. It's up to you. And this is just for search engine optimization, which means it just allows people to find this information. It's words that people might be searching for. Okay, that's all it is. So it really doesn't change the poster page. It just gives it a boost for people finding it. Okay, let's add one more. So we're going to add one more post. And this one would be a post as if I was somebody that was doing a lot of the social engagement for this website, and I'm like am doing all of the posts for this whole month at a single sitting. So I have all the ideas, I have my calendar of what I'm going to write, and I sit down and start writing them. So I can schedule a post to not be seen immediately, but I can say in 2 days it'll be seen, or in 3 days it'll be seen. So we're going to go ahead and add a new post. And this one is vet, vet visits. Okay, so I will. Okay, so I don't know if that sounds good, but it sounds good enough. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to use my three little dots and do before and put in Foster programs just to show you guys that we can do that. And then change that to a heading. so that I get that heading in there. Then I'm going to come over here to the post name. I'm so sorry. I thought my phone was off. Um, Post name. And so we're going to say this isn't a draft, but we're going to kind of leave the draft there. And then we're going to click on this immediate here. Okay. And on the immediate, what I'd like you guys to do is to have it go, and it's going to be, um, so it already thinks it's midnight on the 18th, which it's not. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to leave that, but I'm going to have to change this eventually and that'll fix it. So I'm going to have it scheduled for the 19th. Um, and I'm going to say at AM, I think
You got a little
01.
ahead of me real quick, Kara.
Okay, so I'm just on the word immediate. Okay, over here
Yeah.
where it says publish, I just clicked on the word immediate and it opened
Oh,
up this
okay.
dialog box.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, and once it opens up this dialog box, I can put in a time. So I'm going to say 1 minute after midnight, okay, on the 19th. I want this to be published. Okay. And so once I set that up, it changes this from saying published up here at the top, right? Instead of saying publish, it says schedule. So if I click schedule and scheduled, now it creates it as a scheduled post. So this has it out there as a scheduled post. So if I go back now and look at my post, I should have one publish, one scheduled, and one draft.
Okay.
Okay, so I should have, and then one in the trash. And so on this one, I was like, okay, I got ahead of myself. I scheduled it, but I didn't put in any of my um, categories or tags. And I could put in vet visits, comma, um, shots, update that, and that will give me my tags and my category. So does everybody have Canvas open on your computer or available to get to Canvas? I do have some images out there that you guys can use that are from Unsplash. If you go to Files, um, for this class, if you go to Files, there is the, the, the puppy images. They're final and raw. You could open up the final and then just download whichever ones you want. These are just images that you could use in this class tonight. So if you want to, just download a couple of those images available so that you can grab them off your desktop and you don't have to resize them. They're sized appropriately for us to use. So grab a few of them. And I think it is the puppies folder and final folder inside the puppies folder. So in the files on Canvas, you should be able to find the puppies folder. Is everybody's finding that and being able to download some of those images? So download about 3 of the images so that you can work with them. Okay, James, you don't mind if I share the question, do you? It's a good question. Um, Creative Commons is a way you can find images. Wiki images are not necessarily free to use without. Um, so he wanted to know, could I just use images off of Wikipedia? And it's not necessary. You okay, because this is a class, you are less likely to get in trouble for it. I don't want you to get in the habit of doing this because if you get in the habit in a class of doing something, sometimes when you get out into the real world, you might do it too, and then you'll get yourself in trouble. Creative Commons, um, you have to check and see if the image needs attribution, and sometimes the attribution is so intense that it takes up a lot of space and you have to have it right next to the image, and there's just a lot of requirements. So you have to be very careful using images off the internet that you don't use. If you want to look up images for your topic, Unsplash has a lot of free to use and their terms of service. Reread their terms of service though. Their terms of service says you can use it even for commercial uses. So that's a good thing to look at. So Unsplash has a lot of images out there. And I'm going to talk more about images next week. Okay, so um, be careful using images that aren't free to use or royalty free and don't have a whole bunch of stipulations on like how you have to give them attribution. And I'll go into all of that and why that's important and how much trouble you can get into using images that you're not supposed to. Okay, these images that are the puppy images are all from Unsplash and they're all free to use. So if everybody can download at least 3 or 4 of those images, then we can like work with some of the stuff that I want to do. Thank you. I got 1 thumbs up. Okay, looks like everybody's got some images. Okay, let's go back to the one that is already published. So the one that is published, if you need to, click on the word published. That will bring up the one that is your published one. And then we're going to click on the word edit that's underneath the title of the post. So we're going to do edit, and we're going to work on that one, and we're going to put an image in as a feature image. So every theme will allow you to put in a feature image for the post. It's very dependent on the theme how the feature image is going to be displayed. So every theme should allow you to put in a feature image for the post, okay? But it's very theme dependent on how it's going to display that theme. Does that make sense? If you use a different theme besides 2024, the way it displays the feature image may be different. Okay, so we're going to select the feature image over here on the right, and we're going to select and upload one of those puppy pictures. If you have another picture you want to use, that's fine. I'm just going to go to my desktop and find, I have all those puppies. So you should have some of these puppy images. Doesn't really matter which one you pick. The feature image usually should be, images can be portrait, which means they're up and down, or they can be horizontal, which means they're landscape. So most of these are landscape images, so they should work. If you want to put in, this looks like a King Charles puppy, put in the alt text. It's probably King Charles Cavalier. I don't know how to spell Cavalier, so I'm not going to do that. And it looks like I don't know how to spell Charles, but okay. So there it actually puts in, sorry, I got a silly fly that's around here. I'm not just crazy. Um, and so it puts in the feature image. And then when we save this and we view this, now we should be able to see what this looks like. So now I should be able to go to my post and view that one. And so now I can actually see that one puts it, 2024 puts the image, the feature image at the very top of this. Okay, so you should have the feature image at the very top of that post. Okay, we're going to work more with blocks and block groups and things like that, but I want to go through the settings that we need to go through, and I want to go through users before the end of the class. Okay, if you did not see your feature image showing here, when you went into the post, when you were editing the post, it should be sitting over here on the right. Do you see the post and did you save? You click the save button at the top. So if you're not seeing it over here, you need to place it where it says feature image here, and you need to save it at the top. Did that help? Then go back, look at your post and see if. But you should not on your page, but on your post. Are you looking on your post? So you went back and looked at your post and you're not seeing it on your post for the one you
Oh,
put it on. So the one that you added it to, you viewed that post and you're not seeing it there. I'm not asking you to see it on your page because there you won't see it here. But you should see it on the post. And right now we haven't directed the post to a page yet. Does that make sense? This is a post, not a page. Did that help? If it's no, let me know.
I have a picture on the side under the right hand.
For the post.
Yes.
Okay, so then when you come back to post here,
Yeah.
you click the view. And because this has to be the published one. See where it says published over here on the right? If you put it on any one of these other ones, you're not going to see it. At least like yet, because we didn't really do these ones yet. I asked you to do the published one. Did you do it on one of the other ones?
Do you save it then once it gets over there?
It should have already been saved before. So if I came here and was editing it and I made a change here, okay, I put the here, I save it at the top.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Do you see it here?
Yeah, I did. Let me go back. Okay, I see it there. Now you save that.
So then you save that,
Oh, okay.
okay, and then you go back to your post. So back to the dashboard, go to all posts and look at the post that it was on and click the view button.
The view. Okay. Okay.
It's there?
It's there now.
Okay, good. Okay. That it may be taking a little bit of time. I don't know if we're all on the same server and if that's causing an issue too. I do I have no clue. I didn't set up this server, somebody else did. So I don't really understand like the dynamics of how it's working, but it is one of those things that we can go back and look at it. Okay, so we're going to go back to the dashboard again, and now we're going to move on. We've done pages, we've done posts. So we've done pages, we've done posts. I talked about setting it up immediately. I talked about um, adding an image in the feature image as it being theme dependent. Now we're going to move to settings. Now, settings is one of those things. A lot of times people get into WordPress and they just start writing pages and they start writing posts and they creating pages and posts and they create a navigation and then they never do the settings. And then they don't understand why things aren't working exactly the way they think they should. So let's go through settings. And in the settings, there's general settings, there's writing, reading, discussion, media, permalinks, and privacy. All of these need to be set up. I tell people, yes, WordPress is plug and play, but you still need to do some of the setup so that it's plug and play for your local area. If you do the plug and play from the generic WordPress website, it is going to think that you have a universal time code of UTC plus 0, which is not what Kansas City is, okay, or whatever area you're in. So you have to change it to whatever area you're in. The other thing you guys were asking me is if you could change the title of the website. You can change that right here. You can change the tagline. You can remove it. You can set up a site icon or what are called like the favicons. So if you look up at my browser tab here, there's this little leaf next to the cPanel, soft Aculus, and it is a favicon. It gives people a visual of what website that is. Right now, we don't have that visual. If you want to put in a favicon that is part of the folder, there was a little puppy dog in the folder. So if you go and you want to select that file and download it, there is this dog logo that you can actually bring and use if you want to do for this class. You don't have to do this. Okay. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you that creates the little favicon that's going to show up here in the tab. So it does kind of give us a logo that can be used. This is one place that it can be put in the website. This is one place it can be put in the website. There are other places it can be put in the website. The URL, this is the URL of your website. So instead of 172, this should be your username. This should be the admin email, and we set that up. And that's very important that you put in an admin email because if there's problems with the website, this is the person that's going to get emails about the problems with the website. So this is a really good thing to set up. Um, can anybody be a member on this website? So if you want people to be members, you have the availability to let people be members. Subscriber is the lowest user. So we're going to just go ahead and keep that at subscriber. We're in the United States. We're going to keep that as United States. And then in here, you can put in UTC -6, or you can start typing in Chicago because that's the closest area that's to our time zone. So that is something I want you to change. I definitely want you to change the Chicago time zone. I don't want your time zone to be that plus 0, UTC plus 0. The date format, this is up to you what you want your date format to be, whether you want it to be the words spelled out, or if you want it to be the numbers, or if you want it to be more of a European where it has the day, month, year. So that is definitely something you can think about. Your time frame and whether you want it to be um, the 24-hour time frame or if you want it to be every 12 hours an AM and PM. So this is the 24-hour time frame, and then this is AM and PM. What day does your week start on? Mine starts on Sunday or Monday, so just pick which day. And then once you're done making those changes and you make your selections, save your changes. So everybody should have changed your time code and then your date formats to whatever you want them to be. I will be checking that. That is one of our assignments for today's class. So you need to be changing this because you guys will be giving me a sign on to your website. So everybody should have that changed. The time code, and then if you want to put in the logo for this website, that's perfectly fine too. But you have to download it from that folder from the files on Canvas.
What was the time? See the month, day, year. I got that. GIA. Oh,
Did you change this to Chicago?
I got
I
Chicago.
don't care what date format you pick. Pick whatever you want. I just was talking about them.
The I am
So I went from the September 17th, 2024 to 9/17/2024. You can pick anything you want.
but on the time format, mine shows at the top 1:18 a.m. Is
That's because you haven't saved the changes yet, or you haven't changed the time zone to Chicago.
oh, okay. That will change it automatically.
Yes, once you save it, it'll change it automatically.
Oh, okay. Okie dokie.
Okay,
Never mind.
perfect. So go ahead, save your changes. Everybody should be done with general. Okay. Writing. Okay. Writing is fairly important because what I said, you guys, nobody ever searches for uncategorized. So that's why we put in some categories when we created our posts. So we're going to drop that down and I'm just going to pick fostering. So this is the most general category for the whole website. This just gives you one search engine optimization boost because uncategory gives you zero. Okay, so this gives you one boost. It may not be the one you want, but it's perfectly fine because it's better than uncategorized, right? Nobody searches for uncategorized. Somebody might be searching for fostering. Default post formats. Um, all of these were created associated with themes. All of these were created associated with themes. 2013, somewhere around there. They made all of these because standard used to be the only one that was there. So they made all of these thinking that people would create themes that would modify the look and feel of the layout of the pages or the post. And nobody really, the theme builders really didn't jump on board. Maybe a few, maybe 5% of them jumped on board of this and started creating posts like this, but most of them stayed with standard. So this really never took off. It's kind of grandfathered in here just because there are still themes out there that use it, but um, it's not something that I ever recommend you change unless you know for sure your theme needs that post format to be changed. Okay, other than that, keep it standard. This down here, um, you guys get emails from vendors trying to sell you things, right? In your personal emails. So you get from Home Depot, you get emails trying to tell you that they're going to have specials, or from Costco or from Sam's Club. They send you emails. You can do the same thing. You could create an email and have an email list working with an email client like Constant Contacts or MailChimp or one of those email servers. Okay. And you could have every time you put a post out, it would send um, an email to the email that you set up here, and it would create that email as a post on your page. Does that make sense? So think about it as if when Costco sends you an email, Costco's website creates a post on their Costco page. Okay. So what I tell people to do is they have to set up the email client or server. So Google or whoever the email is associated with. You have to put in an email and a password for that email associated with that client. So this would be, let's say, Gmail. This would be your Gmail account, and this would be the Gmail password, right? This would never be your personal email because you would want that to be a member of the email list that was getting the email sent, and then that would make it a post on the website. Okay. So this would never be a personal email because you won't want all your personal emails to be a post on the website. Okay. I don't know if that made sense. Does anybody have questions about that? Or you got it. Good. Category, just put in
Um,
Foster.
oh, sorry, I do have a question.
Okay.
So basically, what you're saying is that that's an option for somebody to like submit a comment or send an email on the website. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh,
It's as if you in your social media had an email list. Okay. And Puppies 2024 is sending out an email to my email list that is talking maybe about um, an event that is going on. Okay. And so an example would be like Puppies 2024 in um, working with Wayside Waifs is presenting vaccinations first come, first serve for 3 hours. Okay. That would be an email that goes out to everybody. This email would get that email, but it would also make it a post on your website here.
okay.
Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes.
It's not something it's not something I recommend because you have to be very careful that this email isn't used by anything else. Because if this email gets things from other things, it becomes a post on your website. So,
Oh, okay. Go ahead, sorry.
okay, so see, they say this address should be very secret. You don't
Yes.
want other people to get this address. You don't want anybody else sending to this address. Okay. So
Okay.
usually it's a really ugly address that nobody would use. Okay. Okay. So go ahead, change your category here to whatever it is, change your category here and just save those changes. I don't know why that thought it was changing a password. I'm not changing a password. Okay. So no, I don't want to, I want to save that, but I don't want to do this. Why won't that close? There. Huh. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get out of that. Okay. Oh, that's okay. I don't care. Okay, I'm reading. The next thing is that we're going to decide what is our home page and what is our blog post page. So right now our home page is a blog post page. So they're saying we don't have a static home page. So we're going to go ahead and create a static home page, And this is where I had us create 2 pages. We created the home page and then our post page. So I'm going to actually set up my home page and my post page right here. This allows me to say how many posts will display on my post page before they go to the archive page. Oh, yeah, that's perfectly fine. If you have any other questions, I am recording. Um, this one is the syndicated feed. Have you guys heard of RSS feeds? Thumbs up if you have.
I have, but I'm not entirely sure what they are.
Okay, so let me see if mine will pull up. So RSS feeds are a way to aggregate a lot of different websites into a single place and to be able to see them. think I think that's it. It allows you to see them, and so it allows you to dump um, things out there. So if somebody aggregates your website into their RSS feed, you can determine how many posts are going to show here. And as you can see, I have lots of different types of posts that I pull together, um, marketing, social media, tech, WordPress. So I kind of have a lot of different things I look at. And then this is just one place I can come out and look at one place and get all of this information all together and not have to go look at all these different websites to see if they put out something new. So this is just one place to go instead of going to 10 or 20 different places. Um, for us, if you want to do that, if you want to let people um, pull in, you can say they can put in as many as 10 items from your website on the RSS feed. You also have the availability to say, hey, I'll give them all the text associated with this post, or I'll just give them an excerpt. If you're trying to get people to come back to your website, an excerpt is probably the better option. Okay, because an excerpt teases them to come back to your website. And then if they come back to your website, there's a chance that they're going to spend more time on your website. And if you have call to actions on your website, it's more likely they're going to do those call to actions. If your website is just an informational website, they may read more things and spend more time on your website. So it is a good thing to have them come back and read the whole post. Okay. So you can decide whether you want them to read the whole post on this, or if you're just going to give them a little excerpt and make them click over to see the whole post. Okay. So that is one way you can do that. Search engine, we talked about this is discouraging the indexing of your pages and your post. So this is until you want your website to go live. Okay. And it does say it's up to the search engine to honor this or not. Google's pretty good about honoring it, but there are some search engines that don't. This is also something that will be very frustrating if you forget to turn it on and you told somebody to search for a website that's a client website. I have had people that have been very frustrated that their website isn't showing up in the Google searches, and this is why. This is a really good reason why, because you're telling Google not to search it and not to index it. So go ahead and save that. Discussions. I'm going to say right here at the front, discussions are going to be a very, very personal preference on whether you're even going to let people make your website a social website. If you don't want your website to be a social website, you need to go through these and read these and say, no, I don't want people to comment. Anyone can post on a comment. Nope. Nope, you just uncheck those. If you don't want anybody to post on a comment, you just don't want them, or email me when people do. If you want people to you want to be emailed. You can actually turn off these if you don't want them to comment. If you want to be emailed when somebody comments, it's probably good to know that somebody's commenting. And it goes to, what email do you think this goes to? What email did we set up in the general? This is the email that those would go to. So this administrative email is where that discussion, if somebody posts on your website, you can also determine whether they can post or not. Okay. And whether if they've posted before, um, the comment author must have a previous approved comment. I always thought this was a really good idea until I had a website and somebody commented from some bakery website. I thought it was a bakery website. At least it said it was a bakery website and said, "Oh, this was a very interesting post. Thank you. It really helped me." And it seemed like a person. Okay. Um, so I approved the comment. The next comment that came in the next day was a comment full of backlinks to websites that had nothing to do with my website, that were stealing my server um, bandwidth because, it was giving them backlinks. So I had to unapprove that comment and delete the other comment that had thousands of backlinks in it. So I am big on making, you have to approve every comment, but that's going to be very dependent on your resources on approving comments or not. So you have to monitor them and decide whether you can, if you have the bandwidth in your personal life, to monitor all the comments. Okay. And then you can put in words and things that you don't want to see. I always tell people on avatars, if you're going to let people show avatars, um, keep it G. I mean, that's just the safest bet. You're not going to get anything that's going to offend anybody. And then you can pick up an avatar, or you can create avatars that they can use. Go ahead and save those changes. Um, Media is the next thing. Media is very theme dependent. Media is very theme dependent. Because I'm going to show you guys and talk to you guys about sizing your images before you put them on the website, I normally don't want to capture media in 4 different sizes and let people pick from the media I put up there. So I always set these to 0. It seems like it has been the best option because I always size my images before I put them on the website, and it keeps my website size down a lot because I'm not taking a single image, then is creating 4 other images from that image and loading that up into my files. So I usually set that to 0. There are other media organizations, but I always check to organize it by month and year to start with. But there are other plugins that allow me to see my media other ways. Again, this is all theme dependent. So you could set up all the sizes here and then the theme doesn't even look at it. So then you get these sizes plus whatever the theme sets up. I will tell you, if you ever set up an e-commerce website with WordPress, it will do these sizes plus all the product sizes. And so then you'll just have like 8 different images for one single image showing on the website, which never made sense to me in the first place. So again, this is kind of a holdback from the old WordPress. Um, and they just keep it because some themes really still use it. But it's not something you really need to do. Permalinks are the URLs. And definitely you want to set up the permalinks so that they have the post name in them. I think it's up to you whether you want to have the day and the month, the year, month, and day in here. Some people that are going to be putting out lots and lots and lots and lots of posts, they like that because it gives them kind of a bump and shows people that they're really um, fresh on their content. But if you put a post out once every 3 months, this might be the better way to go. And it's going to be your personal preference, you where or how you want your URL to look. But I pretty much like my URL to be the URL name and then the page name or the post name that sits right here. This is my personal preference. This is what the permalink looks like because this is the PHP code and that is the key to the page or the post. So it's a question mark, P equal, and then a number. And this gives you no SEO. This is very hard for people to remember. And so I definitely recommend the post name or the date and name, so you can pick that. You also have the availability to put in categories and tags. So there is a way to modify that some also. Save changes. The privacy policy, it does create this privacy policy page, which you do have as a draft. I do tell people this is very important. You have a terms of service and privacy policy on your website, so that people know how to, um, what happens with information you capture. So if you capture emails, phone numbers, if you capture any information on the website in a form or any kind of content, you need to let them know what you're doing with that content. Okay, so if you're going to put it in an email list and you're going to just send them out, like whether you're going to do updates on a newsletter or if you're going to give out coupons or what you're going to do, this privacy policy in terms of service pages that you create are kind of your protect yourself kind of pages. And they're usually at the bottom. There are some European websites that you actually have to have that banner that goes across the page that stops people from accessing the website until they click through and say they read the privacy policy. Okay. And that is something to be aware of if you're going to be working with people in some of the European countries. The last thing I want to do, and you guys can follow along, or you guys can just watch on this one. Users, but you do have to create one user for the assignment, my user. So you don't have to create all of them. I'm going to create all the users so that you can see them. So I always start with Mary S, which is the subscriber. Put in marys@gmail.com. You can see I've done this a lot. And I just put in password as the password because I don't really care. Confirm it's a weak password. I don't send it. I make sure that the role is subscriber. So I'm just going to add that real quick. Again, you guys can just watch this because, okay, I know that's bad. Not now. So the next one is a contributor. So I'm going to be Mary C. So to create a user, you just need to have an email. You do need to pick what role they're going to be. So Mary C is a contributor. These are all fake. So I just keep adding them. So now I should have, yes, does not like that password. Not now. Okay, not now. So now I have an administrator, a contributor, and a subscriber. So now I'm going to add another user. So there's 5 different user roles that are just generic roles. So the author is the next one. And then my last one would be the editor. And the editor is right below the editor is right below the administrator. And I'm going to go in and sign into each of these so that you can see the difference between each of them. So now I have the 5 different users. And so I have an administrator, which is the one I'm on right now. And I tell you right now, the administrator is the god of the website, meaning that with one fell swoop, they can make the website look beautiful. With one fell swoop, they can destroy the website. So be very aware if you have lots of administrators on a website, they are dangerous people. Editors are one step below the administrators. They really can't hurt the website as much, but they can change a lot of the content on the website. Authors can modify and work on content, but normally it's just their content. Okay, so editors can work on everybody's content, authors work on their own content. Contributors can write content to display what their skill set is, but they can't publish the content. Okay, and then subscribers just can look at things. So I'm going to sign out. And then I will go to Mary S. real quick. And so with Mary S., I can see the front of the website. I can see the different pages of the website. But with Mary S. on the dashboard, I can go to the profile and I can change the color of what it looks like back here at the back end. Okay. I can change my email. I can change my password, but really I can only do stuff that affects me. Okay. I'm the user. I can only do stuff that affects me. If I could see posts, let's go back to the front. Let's see. Oh, I want to save that. Let's save this real quick. Come to the bottom, update my profile to be blue. That only shows to me when I'm signed on. When I go to Foster News, uh, let's come down here, see if I see any of my Foster. Okay, puppies at 2 weeks. If I read that and I come in here and I want to comment, this is Mary S. commenting. Okay, post it. What happens? It says your comment is waiting moderation. Um, this is a preview of your comment and how it will be seen. And this is the preview. So that just shows me that somebody's going to have to say yes or no, and that's where I am. So I'm going to sign out of Mary S. That's a subscriber. I'm going to go into Mary C. So this is somebody that has said, oh, I write great stuff about fostering dogs. How about you like see what I can write? Okay. And so I'm testing this person out. They come in here. Um, they come in here and write a post. So they come in here at a post. Uh, Okay, so they just write a great post or they write a post. So then I submit it. Once they're done, they can't put in any images. They can't put in anything that might have code in it. So they can't put in any images. It has to be reviewed. So I can submit it for review, submit it for review. What else can I look at? I can see my post. I can see that this one was published. I can view it. I can see this one was scheduled. I can't even view it. I can see this one as a draft. I can't do anything. So Mary C really can't do much of anything. I can write a post and that's about it. I have the profile tools. Also, I can change this, change my profile, update my password if I need to. Okay. So that's Mary C. So we've done Mary S. Wasn't able to do anything. Subscriber, contributor can write a post, but really can't publish the post. So let's log out. Come on. Then I'll go to Mary A. Mary A is an author, somebody that I trust to write posts. So here I can actually write a post. I can actually upload images. So here I can write a post, add a new post. I can publish it. And now this is out for everybody to see my post. So Mary A, as an author, can publish a post. What else can Mary A? I can add media. So I can go to the media library. I can add media. I can modify media. I can see other people's posts, but I really can't do anything with it. I can view them. I can trash my own or quick edit mine. I can see the other ones, but I really can't edit other people's posts. So as Mary um, A, I can write my own post. I can work on my own post. I can add images and stuff to my own post, but I can't do anything else. Okay, very last person, the editor. So that was the author. So then the editor. So so Mary, as the author, I was able to create posts and add media. As an editor, I'm able to go in and edit anybody's post. Okay. As an editor, I can edit anybody's post. I can add more images and I can add pages. So as an editor, I can add more pages and not have as many, like I don't have that. But as I add pages, I don't have the availability to modify how they look in the navigation. I don't have any of the layout tools, the admin tools that were down here. So I don't have the availability to add users. I don't have any of the appearance tools for the theme, for the layout, and the look. So the editor is one step below the admin. So then go back, log out. So then as this, I have all the setting tools. I can do all the general information. I can do the users. I can do the appearance. I do have the availability as an administrator to delete other users. I will tell you that I worked on a website. The website was up and I did all the building. I did all the building. I put in all of the posts. I put in all of the pictures. I put in all of the users. Turned the website over to another administrator. I moved on. The other administrator supposedly knew what they were doing, went through as me. They wanted to get me out of the administrators because they didn't want to have extra administrators out there, which makes sense. You don't want to have more than, two or three administrators on a website. So that made a lot of sense. But when they went through to delete me, they came through here and they said, okay, we're going to delete this person. And they deleted that person. So when they delete it, they came here and they said, oh, let's delete everything that she did. Well, what did I just say? I did. I did the whole website. I created all the users. I created all the pages. I created all the posts. I created everything. So as soon as they did that, what was left? It was what they had done, which was nothing. I mean, it was maybe a few pages that they did, but the rest of the website disappeared. So this is where I was saying, as an administrator, you are the god of the website. With one fell swoop, they completely wiped out the website. I did have a backup the website. The backup was 2 months old, but they were able to get an older version of the website back up. opposed to not having anything. So, yeah, that's where I'm saying you have to be very careful as an administrator if you're going to delete all the content. So, what they did is they deleted all the content um, associated with my user and the website went away. They should have attributed it to another user, and that way the the information or whatever is built will still be there, but the user will be gone. And people change all the time. I know I work with a lot of websites that are hospital websites, and people are always switching which hospital they're working at. So definitely, you have to be aware that if you delete a user, um, whatever they've done on the website or worked on with the website, you need to keep on the website. Unless it's like somebody that you don't trust and you just want to get rid of their stuff, then you delete it all. Okay, that is class today, and sorry I kept you a little late. I hope that makes sense. Do you guys have any questions about what you need to turn in or what you need to do for the two assignments this week?
You said we need to make a login for you on this website that we just made in class.
Yes, and so if you go to assignment 2, the build,
Uh-huh.
okay, it'll tell you that you need to create the C panel, which you already did, and you have to give me your URL
Okay.
for your website as part of the lesson. You have to go into the general and the permalinks and make sure you make change. You have to have a home page. You have to create a user, MW 32 for my
Yeah,
GCC
so
account.
okay. Yeah, that's I think all I need. Because if we've been following along, we've done everything, right?
The only thing you haven't done is I wanted you to create 4 pages and
Okay.
one blog page, but I will accept what we've done tonight and we'll go back and create the other pages um, next Tuesday.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So if you turn in today and give me so I can look at your general information and that you at least feel comfortable creating at least one other admin, make sure I'm an admin
Mm-hmm.
um, when you create it so that I can go look at your website. But other than that, you got all the points for today, at least for the build. Okay.
Got it.
The other part on the first part where you have to the processing for your final probably will take a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you guys for staying late. Sorry. We are done.